Hello from the city of Dubai. Wow, I have not recorded an episode just with myself, like just me talking to the phone. Yes, the phone, in so long. Like, I've just been posting, like, I bulked on episodes with guests, and I've just been posting those. But I haven't sat and just, or not even sit, I usually walk and talk, but so much has happened. Like, I did a life-changing thing 2 days ago, and I think I'll make a whole episode about it, but lots of the world, like as if I'm a public figure, but no, like the world, like people who know me, people around me, lots of the world doesn't know this yet, because I am also trying to keep it on the low, because I want to surprise lots of the people in my life with it, and like get their reaction on video, so I can look back at it. But I wear the hijab now. Like, I literally wear the hijab now, and that is a life-changing thing to do. It really is. And alhamdulillah, like, I'm very glad I did it, and I'm very proud of myself, because it's something that brings me a lot of peace and makes me feel, it feels right, you know? And it's a challenge. Like, it's something that takes guts to do. So I'm proud of myself, and I'm excited to take on this journey, because it's gonna be an interesting one. It's gonna involve new experiences and new encounters, and I guess I'll take you guys along with me. But that's one for starters. Like, okay, random life-changing move, Seema, and that just happened in the last 2 days, or 3 days. Like, today's Monday, and I did it on Friday evening, which was so spontaneous, by the way. But anyways, I was just in the car with Hannah. We were cruising, and we watched a movie called The Roses, which was such an interesting movie. It was like the reality of marriage almost. It was like not a microcosm, but it was a representation of the reality of marriage to an extent. It was also crazy, and like, no, I mean, obviously I'm not married, so I can't really talk from experience, but I think it's also not what marriage is actually like, especially given the ending. Anyone who watched the movie, like, I don't think that's normal. That's whatsoever. Like, I don't think that should be normal whatsoever. But again, I'm not married, so I can't really speak. It was a funny, like, kind of weird but funny but strange but cool, like, interesting movie. And we were just cruising, and on the way back from the cinema, she was like, oh, like, are you happy, like, that it's final year? And I was like, am I happy? Because, like, I always think about the fact that, oh my god, I'm entering my final year of university. Or, like, at least I'd like to think more about it, because I'm a person who's big on, like, oh my god, like, I need to make a big deal about this. This is not even milestone, but this is like a big thing. Like, this is something I need to acknowledge. I'm an acknowledger. I'm a person who makes things dramatic when it's like life chapter type of moments, you know? Not dramatic in the sense of like, oh, creating a scene and like drama and gossiping. Not that, but like when it's, for example, last first day of school, last time doing this, last time doing that. I'm that person. Like, I'm the person who will make the biggest deal out of it, because I want to reminisce, I want to be nostalgic, I want to be futuristic simultaneously. I don't know. I'm that girl. Or at least I thought I was that girl, because I don't know if I've just been caught up with like day to day. Especially August was a very busy month with like my sales role and then traveling. Oh no, actually I traveled early September. It's September 15th today, damn. August felt long, but September feels so short. It's so weird. But I don't know how I feel. Like, am I happy that it's gonna be my last time doing everything? Like, no, because normally, or like automatically, I would feel like, no, I'm not, because like, oh, I'm gonna miss it all. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, I'm excited for like am I excited though? I don't know. Like, I do love the routine that comes with like finishing. Sorry, it's late. I need to sleep. But I do like the prospect of having a more, I mean, I don't entirely love like lack of spontaneity, but the stability isn't lack of spontaneity. You can find spontaneity in stability, but my point is I don't mind the routine that comes with like a corporate job and like day-to-day habits, you know what I mean? Like going for your workout, and like you can find nuance within that, the type of tasks you do in your job or the type of workouts you go to, the outings that you have. So my point is like I feel that lifestyle is cool and has excitement within it, and it's not necessarily boring. Granted, also though, like like I have a good job and inshallah things are going well, you know what I mean? Like obviously there's always life circumstances you can't control, but university is a once in a lifetime experience. Like it truly is such a privilege to go to university and to have a good university experience. Well, good is quite vague because like it's subjective, it's different for everyone, but I'm really grateful that I've really enjoyed university so far, and it's introduced me to so many people and given me so many experiences that like have genuinely opened my eyes and made me really enjoy so much more about life. And I can only imagine what this upcoming year is going to bring. Like, who am I going to meet? You know, like the people I've met at university, like, oh my God, like I've literally met my soulmate friends, like genuinely, like sisters to me. And I am beyond grateful. Like, I mean, John will say like something we're so grateful about university is that it introduced us to each other, you know? Like, it's crazy, like these people who are so, even in school, like high school introduces you to people, or at least not for everyone, but for some people, like the people meet their significant others in university, in high school. Like this is how you, like people who, and the institution can do this. And obviously, I mean, it's not the institution. The institution just happens to be the location, the context. But like, it is thanks, like that's the environment where you guys met, you know? And like, I've met other people who I've had experiences with who've taught me lessons, who, like, it's just crazy. And not only that, but like, going to university has taught me more about myself. It's taught me skills and independence, like cooking. And yeah, because honestly, I didn't cook that much before, like, university. And it taught me a lot about living life on my own, traveling on my own, learning that I'm actually more spontaneous than I thought. I used to be much more of a, like, routined person who, like, was super disciplined and stuck to her. Well, not that you're not disciplined if you're spontaneous, but I would always stick to my timetable and my schedule. But at uni, I learned that, like, wow, like, I can actually be someone who's super, like, well, I was always pretty, like, I'm always willing to accommodate and flexible, but at uni, there's so many times I kind of didn't stick to my schedule, and, like, for the better, you know? Like, the random travels I've done, I surprised myself, I really did, especially in first year. Like, I was always so academic, and then in first year, like, academics were my priority, but there was so much more that I was also prioritizing, you know, like all the sports, the societies, which I'm so glad I did. And yeah, it's crazy. So final year, man, like, what's final year gonna bring? Because second year I did a lot of extracurriculars in second year, and it was so fun. I loved it all. But this year I was like, okay, I'm just doing 180, and like I really have been giving 180 my absolute all this summer. Like, it's been like a full freaking time roll, more than like August was so, my life was 180. my life was like reaching out and getting clients, and it was such a good experience. It still is going on. It's been a really cool experience, and I'm so grateful for it. I've met such cool people doing such impactful things, and I'm really inspired, and I'm like so glad to be surrounded by people doing such admirable activities, and that I have these connections and this network, and that, you know, I can go to, and that I have so many more like organizations to reach out to when I need one. I'm interested in volunteering or like getting involved in certain organizations. Yeah, like it's such a privilege to have this network. And yeah, like it's so nice to be surrounded by like such good social impact work happening in the world. It brings me like reassurance that there's good in the world, you know. So kudos to all you wonderful clients who I've been speaking to and who I'm working with. I'm so excited that inshallah, like the people we're working with this cycle are gonna be so fun to work with, and the team is amazing. Like I really like the team, the exact team that I'm working with. If any of you are listening, shout out to you guys. So yeah, I'm really grateful for it, but it's been a lot, you know. That's why I also wanted to go to Korea, because I owe it to myself to give myself that fun trip. And I was also working on the trip, I won't say I wasn't, like, and because Korea timing is way before the UK, like there was times I was, well, honestly, like nearly every day I wasn't sleeping much. Like I was sleeping late because either I was doing something related to an application or I was doing something for 180. So yeah, but alhamdulillah and subhanallah that the timing managed to work out so that I didn't have to like work 24/7. Well, no one should work 24/7, but I wasn't working like 9 to 5 while I was in Korea. I was working a lot, but like more sidelines by then. But God is kind, and so it managed to work out that way. But anyways, I was saying that because yeah, like this year I'm like, okay, 180. But with my role, it's like it's a role that's very active during the summer or like pre-cycle starting, because I'm getting the clients, I'm acquiring, and I'm signing the deals. But then it's like, oh, you know, there's a lot of passion projects I have in mind that I want to focus on, and I also want to dedicate more to this podcast, and my degree is going to be intense probably for final year, and knowing myself, like I can make it super intense for myself, you know, like limitless, sometimes limitless. You know, it's funny because that was the title of my LinkedIn post and my goodbye email, and like it feels like the right word because I genuinely, like, I'm super ambitious in the way I think, and I know that like I strive to go above and beyond always, but you shouldn't be limitless in like in terms of the boundaries with your health, right? But that's not what I mean. I mean limitless in terms of like believing in your capabilities and like modeling your mindset. Model your mindset. That was the name of the club I started at in high school to motivate people to pursue their passions. And that was almost like a foreshadowing of this podcast, because I used to get people during COVID to like go on a call with an audience and talk about what they're passionate about. The same way I get guests to do now. So, damn, I almost foreshadowed the future of some serotonin. Getting people to spread their serotonin. Well, go me. I love me. And we should all love ourselves. But anyway, we weren't talking about that. Oh, how I go on a tangent. We were talking about what is it? We were talking about, my final year, and like, yeah, I haven't like necessarily signed up to things, but I'm also excited to like have this like freedom to like take on more things as the year begins and like presents itself to me, you know. Like I love sports. I think sport is so cool, and in first year I competed. I should do like a uni reflection episode, but in first year I competed for Latin and ballroom dancing, and like it was for fun, you know. Like I enjoyed it, and I always like wanted to have the experience of competing more competitively for sports. I wasn't like the best of the best, but I had a good experience, and like I have competed before. Like I did swimming for a bit in year 7, but it was never like anything super duper serious. And speaking of swimming has a special place in my heart. Like I love swimming so much, and it's something like I always wanted to, or kind of envisioned doing at some point in university. But I've heard that swimming culture is not like necessarily the best, and like I don't know. I mean, I can't like say anything because I haven't done it professionally at uni, but I think when I first started uni, I was so focused on like wanting to do everything, and like I'm really glad that I tried so many things, but by second year I realized that like I can't like do everything, you know. I need to like have some areas that I dedicate more time to, and even in second year I still didn't entirely learn that lesson because I was still doing a lot, and that I struggled to balance, and so that's why this year I had to learn that lesson in placement too, because Adobe was a whole new environment and like jungle for me to like play with, you know. And I definitely realized prioritization is something I need to like to focus on, and that's why this year I guess I maybe nearly learned my lesson, because I'm just doing 180 officially, but of course I'm doing things on the side and in my own time, And I want to focus on having a good, like, enjoying my time with my friends, my social life, leaving room for the spontaneity and for random things and opportunities that come up, applications. So I don't know what final year will bring. I don't know if I should have expectations. Usually things are best when you don't go in with expectations, right? But also I like to plan things or to have like visions so that I can help myself meet them and make them feel real. I guess that's an interesting question, like, to what extent should you plan things? Because the best things are sometimes unexpected. Like, what's the balance? When do you say yes? When do you say no? Interesting questions, but I am tired and so this all goes back to the question Hala asked me, like, am I happy or unhappy that it's final year? I think I'm not one or the other. In conclusion, the typical answer. But that wasn't the point, right? The point wasn't to answer the question. The point was to talk about the question, how it made me feel, what made me think. And, you know, I also haven't done an episode in a while. Like, honestly, like, I guess I like putting the spotlight on other people and having guests because I don't talk about myself. And, like, of course, humans are selfish. We love to talk about ourselves, but I don't like to talk about, like, I struggle to be vulnerable. And of course, this isn't me being entirely vulnerable, but it is like talking about how I feel and sharing things with basically anyone who decides to listen to this podcast. And part of that is unsettling. I'm like, okay, why are you listening to what I'm feeling and what I'm saying? And of course, I have control over what I say. Like, I don't have to say many things, and I'm not saying everything that comes to my mind, nor do I want to, but there's a lot I do want to share, and that I feel like there's value in sharing because it can help foster bonds and connections with people who listen to. It could potentially inspire someone, or it could bring an idea to someone's mind, to your mind, or it could encourage you to reach out to me about something or give me a piece of advice on something. And that's at least what I've been told from you guys or people who listen to my podcast, and that's what makes me enjoy it. And I also just love talking. I just love thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. That was not it, Seema. That was not, like, it sounded better in my head. I was trying to go for Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud, but yeah. I just feel like life is so crazy. Like, August was it felt like a long month. Like, so much happened in August. Like, I was in London. What? Like, I was in London. I did over a year in London. I was living in London on my own. Never in my life have I lived on my own, and never did I think I would live on my own. Like, yeah, I lived alone ish in first year because I had a dorm, like a single room dorm, but I was in a flat with 8 other girls, and we had a connected lounge with another flat of 10 people who we were also friends with. So I just never felt alone, you know. And like living alone, I also wasn't entirely alone because I was in a student accommodation and I made friends with people in the accommodation, but it felt like much more of an independent experience than previously because I was also working and I didn't know. I mean, like, it's different, I feel like, private accommodation versus like the uni accommodation. And I was hanging out more with people from work or people who I met outside the accommodation. But yeah, it was a great experience, and like, it's just crazy that now I'm going to be a student again. And I love being a student. Like, John and I were calling yesterday and we were talking about, like, you know, modules, how we want to approach things. And like, my best friends live in this little city, this town, Bath. Like, such a cute city. It's international. There's a lot of opportunities, but yeah, it's such a cozy environment. And alhamdulillah that I feel like safe there, and I have a community, and yeah, what a time, what a place to live in. And I should do an episode to my future self, because I wrote a letter to my future self as inspired by Grace Beverly, who I've been loving, by the way. I've been so, like, loving her content. But I think this is I've already inevitably done a life-changing thing. So this year's gonna be different. as every year is, but I'm excited to see what life will, like, what will happen, and I hope, I wish the best for everyone. I hope all is well, and that we all get through it, and we all give it our best, because life is short, man. That's why I wore the hijab. Life is so short. If you want to do something, it's so hard to sometimes, but pray for it and do it, because obviously within reason. But like, I always, and I'll probably say this when I make a hijab story episode, but I always like ask myself, like, if I was to die tomorrow, like, what would I do, or what's something, if God forbid I died, I would have wished I would have done it. For me, always the first thing that comes to my mind is wear the hijab. Like, it's something that I've wanted to do, I've been scared to do, but now I'm doing it, and it's such a relief, man. It's like a weight off my shoulders. It's like, oh wait, but I don't need to stress about that now because I'm doing it. And of course that it comes with many challenges, because the world is not a fair world. The world is not always a nice place, but there are nice people, and there is good. So you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith, man. So I encourage you guys to think about the thing that's been at the back of your mind that you feel like you need to do. Pray on it, and take it on from there. I hope this gave you some serotonin. I don't really know what this episode was, but it was just me thinking out loud at midnight after watching The Roses with Hala, and having like a nice convo in the car, and thinking about the fact that I'm going back to Bath soon, inshallah. Sana went back today. I miss her already. I feel like we've been bonding a lot recently, and I'm very grateful to have her as my sister. She's actually one of a kind. And my parents, and yeah, I'm just feeling a lot of love, and this is something I think about, you know. I think about like family time, quality time, and that's something else. Like with graduating, it's like, oh, I want to spend the most time with my family, because life is short. As I said, life is short, and life really is about being with, is like, for me, life, the most important thing in my life after my faith is my loved ones, my health, my loved ones, their health. And so yeah, there's so many things I want to do, and lots of those things are related, like even career-wise, lots of those things are related to people and like impacting people. But at the end of the day, the role you play in influencing your loved ones and the people around you is so incredibly important, and that in itself is so, it's such a great thing to do, and it's such an impactful thing to do, and something to be proud of, like showing love to your loved ones, being there for them, supporting them, being a good friend, a good person, a good daughter, a good brother, a good son, a good mom, a good dad, or wife, husband, sister, brother. Did I already say that? Like, that is so much already, and we need to give ourselves more credit. And we also need to remember to be prioritizing the right things, because I feel like I lose sight of that sometimes. So yeah, here's to prioritization. Good night, everyone. Seema out. Bisous.